Welcome back to Worldview. Now, breast cancer took my own grandmother in 1971 at a very young age. She had the most common form of that disease, and in the late 1960s and early 1970s, pretty much all cancers were essentially a death sentence. But we've come so far in the last 4 decades to where so many cancers are now survivable, and genetic research is such that doctors can predict one's likelihood of succumbing to any major disease based on specific genetic markers. Breast cancer made global headlines this past week as the American actress and activist Angelina Jolie revealed that she chose to have a preventative double mastectomy because she was known to have a very rare genetic marker of a disease that took her own mother at the tender age of 56. The news set off a screening panic amongst doctors and patients worldwide who rushed to be checked for the presence of the BRCA1 and 2 genes, which are excellent predictors of one's likelihood of getting breast and/or ovarian cancer. Now, by having this surgery preventatively, she reduced her chances from 85% to under 5% of contracting the disease. And she announced that she will have another surgery very soon to remove her ovaries. Politicians and leaders around the globe applauded her decision, and as always, she's taking a very public role in this regard. Now, joining us today on the program is Barbara Wilson. Barbara's co-founder of the UK-based group Working with Cancer, and she spent 40 years as a human resources professional. Now, after being diagnosed with breast cancer herself in 2005, she set up this group to develop guidelines on work and career for HR professionals, line managers, employees, and carers. And from 2008 to 2010, she chaired a major part of the NHS Macmillan Cancer Centre 5-year cancer survivorship strategy, developing work and cancer support tools for employees, employers, and clinicians. And she continues to work as a volunteer with Macmillan Cancer Support and specifically speaks about work and cancer at various conferences and events. Now, that's a very long-winded introduction, but Barbara Wilson, welcome to Worldview.
Hello. Hi.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about this subject, Barbara, because Angelina Jolie will face a unique set of workplace obstacles when she returns to film new projects. And hers is a business that places a premium on physical appearance. And your work covers the spectrum of employer-related issues with cancer. So let's start with the challenges she's likely to face, and how will she be received in that workplace?
Well, I think one of the issues will just be plain old-fashioned embarrassment. I think very often in these situations, people just don't know what to say or how to react. Some people may actually go out of their way not to speak to her because they don't know what to say. So that's one key issue. People will just clam up.
Yeah, this disease is so misunderstood, and indeed everyone has a cancer story of someone that they know or in their family, and partly because it tends to slap us across the face with a reminder of our own mortality. Why is it so awkward in the workplace when someone returns, and how should one treat a cancer-surviving colleague or employee?
Well, of course, everyone is different, and so to say there is a standard way of doing this is actually unhelpful. But I think it's about treating people as you would wish to be treated. And in most cases, people will want to have some time to talk about their illness or be given the opportunity. So it's a question of actually, in the UK, we're very good at asking, how are you, but actually not listening to the answer. And the thing is to be guided by the individual. If the individual says, I'm okay, and doesn't want to talk about it, that's their decision. But in many cases, if the individual stops to listen to the person they've asked the question of, they'll actually hear an answer and can have a conversation.
Yeah. You said that about asking people if they're okay. Here in Wales, you always hear "you all right," and the standard response is not. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You all right? Are you doing okay? And people will say not so bad. And,
exactly.
And then you have nowhere to go from there. Now, Barbara, you've experienced returning to work post-cancer. Can you share with us your own experience of returning to the workplace and how you were treated?
Yeah, I mean, during my treatment, I was actually treated pretty well. I mean, there were no guidelines then, but I was an HR director, so my boss and I sat down and we kind of worked out between us what would work for me. So we decided that I would keep in touch with the office on a kind of weekly basis, maybe have some meetings at home if I felt well enough to do that. The problems arose when I went back to work, and I don't think my experience was unusual. And that was because the one thing that the doctors didn't tell me about, and that wasn't spoken about then, was the sheer amount of tiredness, as well as odd kind of symptoms of pain that crop up during the day. And frankly, there were parts of the day when I just couldn't carry on and had to go home. And because I wasn't prepared to talk to my boss about that, I guess he might have thought I might have been milking it or just not committed to my job as I should be. I mean, actually, I was exhausted. So I think the problem was that they treated me well, but when things went less well, it was because they didn't understand what was happening, and I didn't understand what was happening, and communication didn't work because of that.
I want to come back to that in a second. We're speaking with Barbara Wilson of the group Working with Cancer here on Worldview with Denis Campbell. I want to go back to that issue of people viewing you and somewhat differently because of the fatigue and the other symptoms that you were suffering. With some of the work that you're doing now, are these some of the guidelines that you try to make sure that employers understand when they do have cancer patients returning?
Absolutely. I mean, the guidelines will cover how to have a conversation from the point of diagnosis onwards, how to keep in touch, how to make adjustments so the individual can cope with coming back to work. For example, during chemotherapy, my phone going, by the way, during chemotherapy, very often people can't travel because of their immune system being impacted. So it's about making adjustments, talking to each other, and all of that is in the guidelines.
Interesting. Would like to shift gears for a little bit here and ask you a question now as a woman. And I have to say this is one of those difficult reptilian brain moments that I imagine many men and women have at this point. If one undergoes such a radical treatment as a double mastectomy, how does that affect sexuality? Does it pose differences or difficulties, and for whom?
Well, I guess it must do. I mean, I haven't experienced that, but I think this is all about individual couples and how their relationship, and frankly, I don't think it would affect them. I mean, my own experiences is that life carries on, you make adjustments, if you love each other, that's fine. So everyone's experience will be different, but I think in general, if you have a good loving relationship, it won't affect things. And very often cancer will strengthen a relationship and make it better.
That's true indeed, and I guess when I consider and look back to the celebrity nature, you know, of an Angelina Jolie who makes her life on film and makes her life on the basis of her image, is that something that's also going to be an issue, or I guess it remains to be seen?
I guess it remains to be seen. I mean, one of the things that I think was quite clear was when she was playing the Lara Croft roles in the past, she actually wore a full bodysuit most of the time. I mean, it was not bikini. But I think she's also, her career, if you follow it, has changed over the last few years. She's taking on much more serious, demanding roles in that sense. And she's also become an ambassador for many great causes. So I think that particular aspect of her appearance has become less important. And she's on a different journey now. Indeed
she is. Indeed she is. Let me ask you from a now, put your Macmillan hat on here. What must be done in the workplace to ensure understanding and fair treatment of all people battling this disease?
Sorry, I missed that question.
Yeah, no problem. What must be done in the workplace to ensure better understanding and fair treatment of employees that are battling this particular disease?
Well, I think there are a number of things that organisations can do. The first thing is just, for example, taking the time to find out more about cancer and training, briefing line managers on what its impact is and how you would manage someone with cancer. One of the critical issues is just having knowledge and information and understanding. And actually these days, following the work that Macmillan has done and I've done with Macmillan and other organisations here in the UK, and globally, there is a huge amount of information on the web. The critical thing, I think, for managers and organisations in general to be aware of is that many more people are living and working with cancer these days. It's about 2 in every 100 who are actually working with cancer, and that number's going to grow and increase. And it's not just, of course, people who have cancer, but people who are caring for those with cancer who need support and help. Indeed. So it's taking the time to find out more and learn how to manage someone with the illness.
Well, very important message. And I want to thank you for being with us today and taking the time to shed a little light on this subject.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
It's been our pleasure. We've been speaking with Barbara Wilson of the UK-based group Working with Cancer. Now, Barbara appears with us courtesy of a wonderful group and organization called thewomensroom.org.uk, which is where we found her, and we were able to bring her here to Worldview with Denis Campbell. We'll be right back after this. Keep it right here.
Thank you.